This is the Barbados Today evening news for Thursday, June 29. Thank you for joining us. I am Mary-Claire Williams. Economist Jeremy Stephen says he is not surprised by the delay in implementing the controversial 2% foreign exchange levy, but he is warning that Barbadians should brace for a longer period of austerity than originally planned. Last month, Finance Minister Chris Sinclair announced a $542 million austerity package aimed at reducing the national deficit in less than a year. But Stephen says systems were not in place to allow for the implementation of the new taxes.
From the beginning, it just seemed a little bit enthusiastic for the Ministry of Finance to signal that the collection would begin on July 1st. If I am quoting the budget speech or the budgetary proposals correctly, the tax was supposed to be collected from July 1st, but understanding a number of systematic issues that banks tend to have will show you, and hence why it wasn't that encouraged by the quick date, because I just thought that it would have had a lot of implementation issues. To be more specific, a lot of banks have legacy systems, commercial banks have legacy systems, core systems that take some time for you to make some major changes to the accounting of the banks themselves, or even to implement collection measures such as this. So, for instance, when any new tax is implemented, it should take roughly around 3 months or so before the entire system is able to account for transactions, if you follow where I'm going.
Meanwhile, Agriculture Minister Dr. David Estwick says he does not believe the delayed implementation of the FX levy will affect government's finances. Addressing a news conference this afternoon, Estwick pointed to the upcoming Crop Over and Carifesta festivals, which he says could also contribute to foreign exchange earnings. Plans are afoot to transition the Barbados National Oil Company from a fossil fuel-based to an energy-efficient entity. Government Senator Darcy Boyce says this is part of the Frendel-Stewart administration's commitment to promoting energy efficiency.
We have committed to reducing the emissions in this country by around 40% from where we are, and that has moved us to looking at the electric vehicle industry very closely. Indeed, we are starting a pilot project in the Department of Energy and Telecommunications to look at electric vehicles, including electric buses, so that we can study the operational characteristics of those vehicles, and it's going to be interesting to see whether the fossil fuel marketers will join us in that exercise.
And addressing the official opening of Rubis's new offices in Welch's St. Thomas, Boyce highlighted the need to take steps in that direction. He also noted government's high fossil fuel import bill.
We are determined to ensure that we reach the goals of renewable energy in the country and energy efficiency for the whole country. We import close to, I think, $1 billion worth or so of fuel each year. A large part of it, close to 40%, goes into generation of electricity, and about a quarter of it goes into the transportation industry. And so we have to do some focus on that.
Sports now. Frederick Smith and Grantley Adams Memorial will battle it out tomorrow in the final of the A1 Supermarkets Berger Paints Rubis National Secondary Schools Under-15 Road Tennis Championship. Playing in the semi-final this morning at the Rubis Sports Club on Spring Garden Highway, the pair of Quadre Holder and Terry Walcott of Frederick Smith defeated Lodge's Deshaun Bino and Jason Pitt in straight sets 21-15 and 21-12. Meanwhile, in the second semi-final, Corey Hoyt of Grantley Adams eased to victory 21-15, beating St. Michael's Tyrese Padmore. St. Michael's leveled the series at 1-all when Shea Husbands showed Karen Phillips 21-9. In the deciding set, Kevin Wickham staged a comeback to beat Josiah Paris 21-18 and book Grantley Adams' place in the final.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Good morning, Phillips & Company, may I help? Oh, certainly. One moment, please. Miss Phillips?
Yeah?
There's a lady on the line from the Nation newspaper who would like to speak with you.
The Nation? Will she go on?
Well, they're trying to sell us some ads.
Look, don't make me laugh this morning. Ads in the Nation? They're real expensive, and for one here, nobody ain't buying them papers no more. Nobody ain't want to steal news. I hear reading Barbados Today online for free. So I tell she thanks for calling, but no thanks. We just advertising Barbados Today, families. Tell she is Barbados Today all the way.
Okay, I'll pass on the message. Mom, are you still there? Oh, she put it down.
The Barbados Today, news you can trust.
We are back now with news from the region. The Jamaica House of Representatives has taken a major step to tackling the crime problem with the passage of the Special Zones of Operations Bill. It will allow the Prime Minister to declare a volatile area a zone for special operations. It also gives the security forces the power to search places, vehicles or people in specific areas without obtaining a warrant. The governing Jamaica Labour Party and the opposition People's National Party have been at odds over the legislation. Opposition leader Peter Phillips describes it as oppressive, saying it will widen the gap between the police and ordinary citizens. Phillips also claimed the new legislation will perpetuate further distrust between the two sides. And during the debate in Parliament, the government said the Prime Minister's decisions would be subjected to approval from the National Security Council. Over in Trinidad, police are searching for the killer of a 13-year-old boy and his caretaker. Law enforcement officials and neighbors alike were in shock over the brutal killing of the two. We get the details in this report from TV6 News.
Disbelief, the piercing screams of a mother whose only son was taken away from her in the most brutal manner. 13-year-old Videsh Subar was days away from finding out which secondary school he would be attending in September. The student of Ward's Learning Living Institute hoped to pass for Trinity College East. Relatives say he was equally excited about a trip to Canada his mother was taking him on as an SEA present. He was spending the day, as he spent much of his days, with 56-year-old Rose Mohammed at this home in Akimbak Street in Malabar. More than a babysitter or caretaker, she helped raise him. What happened today still isn't clear. Police say the killer or killers entered the home, tied up Miss Mohammed and Subar, then slit their throats. A television was stolen, packed into the 7-seater Toyota Voxy Mohammed used to drive children in the neighborhood to school. The van doubled as the escape vehicle. Sheriff Mohammed made the gruesome discovery when he came home for lunch around noon, as he did every day. He found Videsh's body on the floor.
Further afield, a man was arrested after trying to drive a car into a crowd in front of a mosque in a Paris suburb earlier today. Police said no one was injured. It wasn't clear what the man's motives were, and police say he did not succeed in reaching the crowd because of barriers in front of the mosque. Le Parisien newspaper said that the man wanted to avenge attacks linked to the Islamic State that have killed dozens of people in Paris over the past years. Last week, there was a similar attack in London when a man drove a van at Muslim worshippers leaving a mosque. He was charged with terrorism-related murder and attempted murder. That's news this evening. Remember, there's more on our website, www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. You can find us on Izumi Media in bus terminals and Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. We're also on Mix 96.9 FM. I am Mary Claire Williams. Have a good evening.